Well, Carlos Queiroz has resigned from his post as the coach of the Black Stars of Ghana. And of course, that pretty happened after we suffered an elimination in the round of 32 in the 2026 FIFA World Cup after a 1-0 defeat to Colombia, courtesy John Arias. Carlos Queiroz, in a social media post, hinted of his intention to leave from the sport, and he shared his sentiments. He said he's proud to have left at this moment, a coach who came to take over the national team of Ghana just few months to the start of this 2026 FIFA World Cup, following the sacking of Coach Otuado, came with huge promise, especially with high profile, being the head coach of Real Madrid, assistant to Sir Alex Ferguson at Manchester United, having high-profile national teams including Colombia, Portugal, South Africa, and of course you can talk about the national team of Qatar, Iran, and the like. So he's seen it all. I mean, over 70 years old person. I mean, he's seen it all, around 40 years coaching experience. So he came to take over the national team when we were about to go to the 2026 FIFA World Cup. We all thought that he was going to mastermind a very good tactics. Yeah, we saw a very good one in the game against England. Unfortunately, we couldn't start well, especially in the first half in the game against Panama. It was a game that we couldn't play a shot on target. But in the second half, he made some couple of good substitutions, and we were able to beat Panama by a goal to nil. Courtesy Caleb Urichi drew goalless by defending gallantly against the Three Lions of England. Lost against Croatia. So Carlos Queiroz said the round of 32 was going to be the start of the competition, because that is where the business end of the competition gets its up. But unfortunately, he made some couple of changes in the starting lineup, some couple of poor tactical substitutions, which deeply affected the play of the Black Stars in that game against Colombia. And unfortunately, Black Stars were booted out of the round of 32 in the 2026 FIFA World Cup. I mean, Carlos Queiroz has been a defensive-minded coach, so that has been his trademark, that everyone who knows football, who has been following football, knows him. If you want to see Carlos Queiroz very well, just remember the game between Barcelona and Manchester United at Old Trafford in 2008, during the semi-final second leg game in the UEFA Champions League, when Paul Scholes scored the only goal of that game. Man U, after scoring that game, defended gallantly and made sure they had a 1-0 advantage to send them to the finals. And unfortunately for Man United, they beat Chelsea at the Luzhniki Stadium in Russia to win their third UEFA Champions League title. And that is the trait of Carlos Queiroz. But unfortunately, we keep asking ourselves, especially those at the helm of affairs in the top hierarchy of Ghanaian football, should we keep on appointing defensive-minded coaches? This is our problem. Since Kwesi Appiah left off, Coach Siki Akono had a short stint. After that, all the coaches we've been appointing are defensive-minded coaches. So it keeps on denting the skillfulness of our players. Especially, it keeps on depriving our guys who we are supposed to unleash. So we go to tournaments, we get offensive-minded players, but we set up in a defensive tactics, so we don't get to express ourselves well. It becomes problematic. Otuado, defensive-minded. Even with Milovan Rajevac, defensive-minded. Chris Hilton, defensive-minded. Otuado back again, defensive-minded. And of course, Carlos Queiroz, defensive-minded. So the question is, when should we also appoint a coach who can give us offensive play that we can see here? This is the Black Stars of Ghana. This is how we play. We all thought our coach Carlos Queiroz was going to unleash our offensive-minded players in that game against Colombia. And I think he had an opportunity in that game against Croatia where at least some players like Augustin Boachi, Christopher Bunsuba were supposed to be given the opportunity for us to have a feel of them in the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Then we can see that going forward in the round of 32, if it gets to a point where you need a goal, you can give them the chance. But imagine we were playing Colombia. We were down by a goal to nil, chasing the game. When Coach Carlos Queiroz was substituting Kwesi Sibo, he brought on board Elisha Usu. What a disaster. like for like. So the question is, are we going for an equalizer, or we are trying to protect our backline so that the Colombians will not score again? And you just wondered the mentality of Carlos Queiroz on that day, and it deeply affected our play. Unfortunately, we were booted out. The thing is about the hierarchy of the Ghana Football Association. They must make sure this time around, if you are going to appoint a coach, we appoint a coach with philosophy of offensive-minded play. We need a coach who will unleash our guys, who will make us see like this is how the kind of play. But we have offensive-minded players, but always defensive tactics, and we always keep on churning the same results. When will this happen? When will this change? And that is the problem that our top hierarchy are being bedeviled with. But the thing is, Carlos Queiroz now says goodbye to the Black Stars of Ghana, and we need to get a new coach because in September, we are beginning the 2027 AFCON qualifiers. Mind you, we failed to qualify to the AFCON in 2025 in Morocco. And the 2027 AFCON, the Pamoja one in Eastern Africa, which is going to be hosted in Kenya, Tanzania, and Uganda, we can't afford to miss out on that tournament. So it just behoves on the technical, on the top hierarchy of Ghana Football Association to get us an offensive-minded coach, a good coach who can help us to secure the qualification. So we prepare for the AFCON in 2027, the 2028 one, and of course, the next World Cup, which is going to be 2030. But the big news is Carlos Queiroz now says goodbye to Black Stars. He's now resigned. He's leaving the Ghana job. This has been the podcast channel with our. Thank you.